Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and it's been a while since I've been playing To End All Wars. I've got busy with a few real-life things here that kind of popped up and caught me by surprise, but I'm back to it now, although I don't know if I'll be live streaming. Unfortunately, my schedule doesn't really work well with a live stream idea, but it certainly does work well enough with just playing the game like regular. So we're jumping back in here now. If you remember last time we looked, we were in late November. France had launched a series of offensives into Alsace-Lorraine. We had taken Mulhouse, Colmar, and even driven into Germany proper and taking the region of Freiburg. A little bit further north, we had just taken Morganhau. Metz is under French control, but as one of my viewers did mention, it is under siege as well. So the Germans still have some troops held up in the fort there. We do have 95% control over the territory, though, and as you look here on this map overlay, it is blue. So it is French. They just have some remaining control there. It is the only region that is besieged, though. There are no other regions under siege at the moment. This little red icon means that it's been pillaged, but it's not actually under siege. So as you can see here, we've made some significant progress. Now, I'm not sure what I want to do here. I could try and drive further east from Morganhau and maybe move toward Karlsruhe, and we could maybe swing around and cut off the large German army near Strasbourg. But I'm not sure if that's the best strategy or not at this time. The front may stagnate for a bit. I don't want to drive in on Saarbrücken and kind of the Rhineland area yet. I would like to take what's left of Alsace-Lorraine. But if we do take a look, we already control most of it. We just don't have the province of Lorraine, Berchtesgaden, Alsace, and Strasbourg. Those are really the only ones we don't have yet. So, you know, our main objectives in the war already have been taken. As you can see here, supplies can pass through along the entire front. No one's cut off. And it looks here, I don't know what that line there means. But anyway, but essentially the risk here is that Germany has a very strong army at Strasbourg that they could drive in toward Nancy and risk cutting us off or something along those lines. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm wrong. Now, one of the recent changes that also occurred here is the Ottoman Empire declared war on the British. So that's a problem. If I'm the British, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I need to enter the recruitment section here. And I want to see if I can raise some troops for the British. So we're going to go ahead and change the selection here. We could do British African, Indian, or Great Britain proper. So we could go ahead and raise some British troops, maybe directly in England. I'd like to see if we can do that. Let's see here. What do we want to do? We can raise a regular infantry brigade. It looks like it doesn't say I can't. So is this Cairo? Yeah, Cairo. Oh, you cannot build this in this region. It's not part of this unit's build area. So why don't we get rid of this no overlay? Okay. So I'm confused. I thought the colors all changed. What am I doing wrong? I still definitely have an overlay of some sort. This is not no overlay. Why is everything... Oh, because I'm in the recruitment map. Red means you can't place it there. Okay, duh. So anyway, been a while since I've been playing the game. Let's see here. Well, I don't want to raise Anzac troops over there. I guess what we can do is we can raise British African soldiers. I would imagine we can raise a colonial... No, we can't because they're not really Africa. Goodness gracious. So we can't raise African. We can't raise Indian here, I assume. So we can't raise any troops in Egypt. We've got to transport them. Lovely. All right, well, we've got some troops there. I'd definitely like to reinforce those troops. Let's see here. Queen Elizabeth Battle Squadron, Channel Fleet... How many transport capabilities do they have? The Channel Fleet does have pretty good transport capabilities. Looks like they got a lot of pre-dreadnought battleships, I would assume. But they have a pretty powerful squadron as well. So let's get some reinforcements in here. We've got... These guys look like they're all pretty much done. I don't know why he's got this little shadow here. Okay. Huh. All right. Let's see. They're not locked, so let's put them in the Channel Fleet. And now that we've got those guys on board, let's get them over. What's going to be the quickest way of getting them to the front? Probably bringing them into Caen, because it's got a rail line, or no, into Cherbourg. So we'll do that. We'll get these guys over here and hopefully get them offloaded pretty quick. I think we've got a few other armies here somewhere gathering up in Britain. I haven't been paying enough attention. So we've raised some artillery here. It's still in the process of training. We've raised some infantry. Why is there a minesweeper squad? I guess they're up the Thames. They could be. Airship Reserve, Royal Flying Corps. So I'm not sure. Requisitioned liners. They've got good transport capacity. Southampton Garrison, HQ, and detachment. So let's see if we can put these guys on the requisitioned liners. Yep. And we'll go ahead and transport them as well to Cherbourg. So we're going to be moving some reinforcements into Cherbourg. I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation there. And we've got the 4th Division still training. Western Patrol, Devonshire Flotilla, Royal Marines. We don't need to put the Marines there. I mean, we need all the men we can get, but... Oh, the Wales Force in Cardiff. You know, these guys would make a good reinforcement for... But I don't have any transports for them. I was going to say we could send them to Egypt. Let's see... Transport capacity, nope. This is another battleship squadron, a dreadnought squadron. And then we've got the Midlands force. So we've got some decent amount of forces that we can start transporting around. We've probably got, we've got some Scottish forces too. Scotland just failed to vote for its own independence as well. So tough day for them. Let's see here. Well, the Grand Fleet is transports, I think. No transport. Well, that makes sense. The Grand Fleet's not going to carry around transports. So we've kind of moved into the phase of bringing in reinforcements for our armies. The French are still building some reinforcements, certainly. But we've also got some reserves around here. We've got this reserve force here. And then we've got the, whatever this army is, the Clinique Army, or whatever they're called. I want to move them to face the force here in Sarborough. So we can bring in, we can maybe attack it from 2 directions. It's going to take some 20 days. So let's see if we can move by rail at all. I don't even remember where everything is. Move by rail. And it cuts down time by about a week. So I'd say that's worth it. So we're moving them out of Verdun. I kind of put them there as a reserve. We're still raising some troops there as well. We've also got this reserve division here. We'll move them there as well. We'll move them by rail. That's a nice cut down on time. Okay. So then we've got Picard. And what else do we want to do? We've got to have some extra troops here. We've got some generals. Fortresses in Paris. A garrison. Reserve divisions. So these reserve divisions are going to need to start moving toward the front. Our troops are going to need some reinforcements, I think. So we'll move these guys to Metz. 70 days, try 11 by train. And I'm thinking we might be just about done with that. Reims, infantry division. So yeah, we've got we've got a decent amount of troops here that could certainly be deployed elsewhere. And moving them by rail again to get them into place. We've got a good amount of rail capacity built in here. I wish I remembered everywhere that I built all my troops. These guys as well. Move them into Morganhow. and move by rail. So bringing our reserves forward, that's the goal. We've still got quite a few of our troops that we're building that are training at the moment as well. So we got, yeah. What about these guys? Yeah, training, or locked, or whatever. Okay. Alright, so that should just about do it. I don't want to not attack, but I kind of feel like it's probably the wise thing to do. This army is in a hold at all costs, a defensive posture. We're going to move them into the attack posture. We're going to move everybody into the attack posture, the assault, or if we can. I guess those reserves can't be moved. I just want to try and overwhelm the fortress here. Oh. Why are you moving? I'm confused. No. So some of these troops are probably too beat up here to go on the offensive. But the only bad thing is if the Germans do counterattack, these guys are going to rush out and they're going to kind of follow the sound of the guns. But I think it's worth the trade-off right now. Meanwhile, we've got 1,000, 1,300. We've got about 1,400 men. So if the army does attack out of Strasbourg, they're gonna meet with some resistance. They could go toward Freiburg, but again, that would weaken Strasbourg, and I'd have no trouble retreating from Freiburg because it's really not part of our objective. Our objective is Alsace-Lorraine. But anyway, so I think that's going to just about do it for this turn here. A lot of rambling and not a whole lot of talking about much of anything of any importance. And proceed. So we'll see what happens here. We're trying to lift pressure off the Russians. That's why I've launched some pretty aggressive attacks into Alsace-Lorraine and had some success, although certainly Germany's not in too bad a shape, considering how far we are from Berlin. But we've won some significant victories. Even though we lost more men in attacking Metz, we certainly have, destroying an entire army of 160,000 men, which we've almost done, is going to should play a big role morale-wise, even if you lose 160,000 men of your own. Not to mention, my troops who have been killed generally still have units that can draw reinforcements, whereas the Germans have to waste time and resources raising entirely new units that are going to be green and without experience. So there's that trade-off as well. So I think this video is going to be a little bit short. I'll probably just play the one turn. I do want to get back into this, though. I definitely want to give some more historical insight, play the game more, have a more well-thought-out strategy. But I wanted to get a video in here because it's been a while since I've done anything. Again, I had some stuff going on. I had some pretty eventful end-of-semester stuff going on at school where I'm part-time working on my MBA. Also had some temporary health concerns that turned out to be nothing, but was something that was a little bit alarming. So that's kind of where I've been lately. But everything's more or less played out positively, I think. Don't want to jinx myself. But, yeah. So hopefully that's all behind us and I can get back into a more regular upload and streaming schedule. Although streaming will probably be a bit of a delay. I may have to do late night streaming. It seems like my work schedule is going to be changing potentially. So I'm currently up for promotion at work, and if I get that, then I'll have normal Monday through Friday hours, although I may not have as much time to commit to it because it'll be a lengthy commute. If I don't get the promotion, then my hours will be changing, and I will not be able to stream so much during normal hours. Probably be better for European times. Probably be looking at like midnight streams and the like. Central time, that is. So 1 o'clock for you Eastern, and more reasonable for you people on the West Coast. But anyway, we're waiting here for the master file to load. I'm going to guess the Germans aren't going to do too much, too aggressive. Again, they've been beaten badly. They lost one of their principal armies at Metz. It might not be totally gone yet, but that was one of their two main armies has been destroyed at Metz. and the other at Strasbourg. If they lose both of those, they're going to seriously have to call off the offensive against the Russians, which last I checked did seem to be making some pretty good ground here. I wish I could see what these alerts are. And can someone tell me why these alerts disappear when it's my... Oh, wait. It seems like they always disappear when it's my turn to look at them. Maybe it just means there's a pending battle. All right, so where are we here? Enemy power at Metz. Strong flanks, harass deployment, prepare to withdraw. Strong center, we'll go with that. We'll go with massed fire. All right, so we lost 13,000, but finally the enemy has lost more than us at Metz. Another French victory as the enemy loses 18,000 to our 13,000. We've got the enemy outnumbered almost, well, what are we at, like 8-1? And total inflicted 47 hearts and whatever this is. So the enemy has lost again at Metz, so that's good. And now we're fighting a battle at Morgantown. It looks like we're going to be heavily at the enemy's advantage as well. Increase attack, value of protection. So we're going to do strong center again. I think massed fire is a good way to go. So apparently our general's better than theirs, and that's why we can see all this. I don't know. Anyway. No. French defeated Morgantown. No. So we had the enemy vastly outnumbered and yet lost. Holy cow. So we lost 37,000 men to their 5,000. Oh my goodness. And my army was destroyed. Destroyed. So we lost 37,000 out of 400,000 men, and we lost a whole bunch of units destroyed. I think we lost the entire army. Oh my goodness, that's a disastrous defeat. Crap. Well, that was our first serious setback. So apparently massing fire doesn't always work. I guess I got myself flanked. I probably should have had stronger defenses on the flank, maybe. Man, that's crazy. We're outnumbered almost 10-1. Oh, that's Tannenberg like there, but worse. Except that, it wasn't probably as significant as Tannenberg. I don't know. I guess we'll see what I still have left there. Looked like I lost 3 corps. Alright, so let's see here. What are these alerts on the side? Metz, French victory, yay. Armenian genocide. As the fortune of war turned against the Ottoman Empire on the Caucasus front, the local Armenian population became a convenient scapegoat for the Turkish leaders. Years of genocidal atrocities followed, leading to a great outcry worldwide, except it wasn't really all that great of an outcry because people forgot about it within a decade. Conditions: Ottoman Empire must be allied to the Central Powers. Russian player must have at least 20 subunits in Armenia. Effect: United States, Great Britain, Italy, Romania, Greece, Bulgaria, and Serbia move 5% toward the entity. Okay. And then there's the disaster at Metz. I don't even know what to make of this, because it looks like I lost 3 divisions. 3 divisions don't make up 400,000 men. They were in what? Defensive posture? So Morgantown is definitely German again. So we lost Morgantown. German counterattack. At least it looks like we lost it. Let's go back to the filter here and change it. Oh no, we still control it. It would appear anyway. So what do we have left? This corps, the reserve army. The Entity Corps. The Entente, or whatever it's called. Looks like they're still in pretty good shape. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it was just that one element was fighting by itself. So, you know what, we're gonna... We can't do that. Hold at all costs. Hold at all costs. So I think we're just gonna stay on the defensive here. As I click the wrong button and send us way all over. So I probably launched a limited attack with other guys in defensive positions where they didn't come to their aid. That'd be my best guess. Looks like the enemy's moving in a new army, at least, to counter the BEF up here. Which is fine. These guys need a little bit more rest anyway. Why is this army locked? Is Metz done being besieged? I can't even tell. Let's see here, Metz. 100% French control, but military control is disputed ownership here still, so... we don't want to retreat. Never retreat. Never. Alright, so we're gonna be all aggressive like. Oh, nice. One of the reserve divisions arrived. Let's see here. Provide a command. How much do they need? 6. Provide a command, provide a command. Provided command. Required and provided. So this is probably the best unit to join. Except I don't want these guys here because they're going to be locked. Static. So we're going to create an ammo dump because I don't want to lock this unit in and not be able to move. And magazine. Okay. So an ammo dump and a magazine. This unit's now unlocked. Good. Okay, so we've got 2, 1, 1, 1. These guys need a break. They need time from the front lines. Alright, so we're going to move more troops into Morganau. That was a disaster. 37,000 men lost. Ugh. Looks like they pulled some troops from Strasbourg, too. That army's a bit weaker now. Which is good. That's what I want to see. It's good. Let's see what's going on over here. These guys still boarding ships. Did they get to Cherbourg? Yes. Okay. So the entity detachment, entity core, required, provided. Okay, so let's merge this. James Garshin, or whatever his name is. So provided command 48. What's this? Oh, the British Navy, never mind. Okay, or French Navy. Okay, so we've got these guys here. And I'm guessing this Channel Fleet doesn't have any troops in it, right? Alright, Channel Fleet, you can go back to Southampton. Why would you go over land? That doesn't make any sense. No. Don't go anywhere, you stupid. No. $32 days, that's bull honky. I guess they gotta unload those guys, right? So we got a French militia division, and we've got some British troops coming ashore. So those guys are going to go make way to the BEF maybe we can relaunch our offensive. They did so well for us. I know someone said they were horribly mismanaged and their commanders were over their heads, and that might have been true, but dear Lord, they did a lot for us. And I have a feeling, I think launching an attack toward Lorient and then Saar might be beneficial. I think this is probably a pretty weak enemy troop, and if the enemy doesn't send substantial reinforcements, we can take both these territories. We can keep advancing inland into Germany, and ever so slowly maybe make a difference in this war. Drive toward Germany's Rhineland, which is a heavily industrialized area. These cities along the Rhine are incredibly important to German industry. And if the game models economics at all, it certainly would play a big role. But yeah, I guess this wasn't much shorter than a normal video for us. We'll take a little bit more look in depth at some things next time around. Didn't look like the Ottomans really did anything yet, so that's good for us. And yeah, we can go ahead and just kind of get a general overview here. It doesn't look like the Russians or the Ottomans did anything on turn 1 at war. Meanwhile, on the Russian-Austrian front, you can see here the Austrians have made some pretty substantial progress here toward Brest-Litovsk, and the Germans are mopping across Russia. Looks like... Oh, where are we? I don't even know where I am on this map. Yeah, so making some progress there. Where is... Why can I not find... Oh, this one's cut off, though. This one, the Germans look like they're cut off in Belsk, so maybe the Russians have had some success there. Because they're surrounded, definitely. Warsaw is still Russian as well. So the Russians might not be doing as bad as I thought, although here in the north they certainly are, as the Germans have driven toward Riga. But it looks like they may be being pushed back. Maybe they're pulling troops to face us. That's going to be something we're going to want to keep in mind. But anyway, I appreciate you watching here and tuning in. And again, I'd like to do more of this soon. So until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching once again. And next time we'll have a little bit more historical discussion with gameplay strategy. This was just kind of an on-the-whim let's play and record at the same time. So next time would hopefully be a bit more. Anyway, I appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying have a nice night.